Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. This will be the final edition of NoDQ&A video until Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which is this coming Sunday, live from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and on the WWE Network, where many of you, including myself, will be watching it. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest news, rumors, and of course live results coverage. I will be on Twitter giving my thoughts on the show live as it happens at twitter.com/NoDQ&AV. Make sure you go ahead and follow that account. With that being said, let's get down to your questions here. First one today comes from Paul. Now that Randy Orton and John Cena will probably be taking some time off, do you think that it will affect the ratings? It could in the short term, but I really don't think it will make that much of a difference. Sure, there's people out there that watch WWE specifically for John Cena or specifically for Randy Orton, but I feel most people watch WWE for the WWE brand. They tune in to see the male soap opera, the longest episodic running series in television history, the glitz and the glamour of WWE. That's what people tune in for. And I think it's a matter of the product being hot or not being hot. If it's a compelling television show, people will tune in and they will be less likely to watch other things. But if the product is cold, it's more likely people will find something else to watch. Football historically has taken a chunk out of WWE's ratings, but when WWE's been hot, like during the Monday Night Wars, wrestling would do really strong numbers up against football. But yeah, when the product's cold, there's definitely more reasons for people not to tune in. So I think that is more of the reason, the fact that the product is just not that hot. That will do more damage to the ratings than John Cena and Randy Orton not being around. And I think if anything, fresh faces being around and getting pushed in the top spots could potentially help things if somebody was able to break out and become a new top superstar. You know, not getting my hopes up that will happen, but you know, that would be an ideal situation for WWE where somebody gets a big push and they catch on with the audience, and you have renewed interest in people wanting to watch Monday Night Raw. Alright, this one comes from Camran. Is there any chance for Daniel Bryan to return at Hell in a Cell and face John Cena for the US title? Please answer in your next video. Well, as Lloyd Christmas once said, there's a chance. There's always a chance. I think that if Daniel Bryan was to return, that would be a huge surprise. Fans would go crazy for that. It would get the internet buzzing. No question. That would be an awesome surprise if it happened. Will it happen? Nobody knows. If Daniel Bryan was going to return at Hell in a Cell, WWE would do everything in their power to keep it top secret. Could it happen? I mean, who knows? There's been no timetable as to when Daniel Bryan was going to return and when he would be seeing his doctors. A lot of that information has not been made public. So, yeah, maybe he saw that third doctor that was going to decide his fate and said that Bryan can go. And in that case, WWE can bring him back and put him right back in the mix with guys like John Cena. It could happen. I think the odds are against it happening, but as they say in wrestling, never say never. This one comes from Jin Key. Hey Aaron, with John Cena's opponent for Hell in a Cell undecided, do you think that we could see the return of Sami Zayn as his opponent? Like Daniel Bryan, that could depend on Sami's health and if he's ready to get back in the ring. At this point, there's been no official word on his status when he will be coming back. Some people have speculated that he would be coming back around Royal Rumble, beginning of the year. And really that would make more sense for him to come back when he's 100% and fully ready to go. But who knows? Maybe he's ready to go now. I don't know. I think that you could have him come back, but then again, is WWE really going to put him in there right away from having an injury and beating John Cena when he hasn't even really been established on the Raw brand yet? It could happen, but like Daniel Bryan, I think it's a long shot. And I actually think it's a little bit more unlikely than Daniel Bryan being the mystery opponent. And if Bryan came back, you know, at least there could be the argument, since Bryan already beat John Cena, you could do it again. With Sami Zayn, I mean, Cena already beat him, and yes, Zayn could beat him, but I don't know if WWE would go in that direction since Sami Zayn hasn't really been established on the main roster as a credible force yet. But stranger things have happened. Alright, this one comes from Clayton Williams. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. If Tyler Breeze answers John Cena's open challenge, do you see him winning clean? A lot of people are speculating about Tyler Breeze, and I mentioned in the predictions video with Jeff Meacham, I just don't feel that Tyler Breeze character is credible enough to beat John Cena. It would be nice for a up-and-coming superstar to beat John Cena, but with Tyler Breeze, I see him being more of a comedy, lower-card wrestler in WWE. He wasn't even a top-tier guy in NXT. I mean, he lost to Jushin Liger at the Brooklyn pay-per-view. Tyler Breeze, to me, seems more of your opening match type of character. With what they're doing with him with the selfie sticks and all that stuff. To me, it's just not believable for him to beat John Cena. And no, that doesn't make me a John Cena ass kicker, as a few of you out there like to claim. I just think he's not credible enough. If you're going to have somebody beat John Cena, you want to have somebody who is very believable. This guy is the real deal. He's tough as nails, and he can match up with John Cena. John Cena has been portrayed as Superman. So you got to have the next best thing to Superman. You got to have Batman. You got to have some kind of character like that is just as tough and strong as John Cena, who can match him up move for move, and is this small cruiserweight-like guy who has this opening card gimmick really credible enough. And I would say no. I would not go with Tyler Breeze personally if it was my call. So I might get some dislikes for that, but that's just my take on it. I'm a little surprised too that so many people out there want to see Tyler Breeze beat John Cena. I did the poll on NoDQ.com, and overwhelming amount of people want to see him beat John Cena. So I was very surprised by that poll result. But then again, people have voted strange in previous polls. There was one poll years ago, should Zack Ryder be WWE champion? And an overwhelming majority voted yes. Now, that's probably just fans being frustrated. And same thing with Tyler Breeze. Fans just being frustrated and just wanting to see a new guy beat John Cena and a new superstar be made. I don't feel Breeze is the right guy with this particular gimmick. Alright, this one comes from Daniel Jobber. Do you think the plan of making Demon Kane one of the top faces increases or decreases his chances of winning the World Heavyweight Championship at Hell in a Cell? I don't think it matters one way or another. I think Kane is just going to be one of the top baby faces because of the character. He's a legend, and fans love the legendary characters. Maybe we'll get Undertaker and Kane reuniting as the Brothers of Destruction for one final run in WWE. That is something I could actually see happening, maybe for WrestleMania, doing a tag match with Undertaker and Kane together one last time, or maybe they'll do that before WrestleMania, depending on Undertaker and if he's going to keep wrestling on a somewhat regular basis. That's a possibility, but I don't think that Kane being pushed as a top face really means anything. I just think he's a guy to challenge Seth Rollins. You need a babyface to have built up to challenge the champion. And Seth Rollins needs a big win. So I really feel you build up Kane and let the champion beat him and become more of a credible champion. I think that's the way to go with Seth Rollins versus Kane. Alright, this one comes from Jordy. And that apparently is the correct pronunciation of this name. Was it really necessary having Xavier go through a table on Raw? Why can't Super Cena's team just lose and that's it? Because WWE doesn't want the baby faces to look too weak. And Cena and the Dudleys, they're the top baby faces. Dudley Boy's top babyface tag team, Cena top babyface. Got to make them look strong. You don't want to make them look too weak. And, that's how WWE operates. They don't want to make anybody look too strong or anybody look too weak. They want to balance it out as much as possible. So in the end, nobody really gets over, but that's how WWE does things. And especially when John Cena's in the mix, you got to recover. If something is done to make John Cena look weak, you gotta erase that, and you gotta do something so Cena looks even stronger than ever. So that is just the way they do it. So yeah, they felt it was necessary. It was kind of dumb because this is like the third time now Xavier's been put through a table. It's not even special anymore. They should have done it once on a pay-per-view and then moved on to something else. And they just keep doing it week after week after week. It's like, It's like they have no other ideas. Huh, what a concept. Alright, this one comes from Billy Bravo. With Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev together on Raw and SmackDown, could you see an international faction starting with them? I suppose you could do that, and maybe WWE will in fact do that. I really don't think they're thinking too much into it, though. My guess, they're just putting 3 of their mid-card heels together and just throwing them out there for matches with no other thought process. They just want to have them go out there and wrestle and not give them any kind of proper storyline. You know, these are guys, you know, I said in the predictions video, they're guys that are stuck in the mid-card limbo, and they're simply wrestlers on the roster. WWE doesn't give them any kind of quality storyline. You know, they had the storyline with Rusev, and I don't know where they're going with that now. Don't really care at this point. And with Sheamus, just seems so pointless with him as the Money in the Bank holder. And Barrett, they should have dropped the King Barrett gimmick. They're still doing it. So I don't know what the deal is with these guys and what WWE's doing with them. It would be nice for them to do something different and repackage these guys and give them a real purpose in the television shows, but I don't see that happening. Alright, this one comes from The Last Lulu. As you know, Natalya is 33 years old and she might be ending her career soon. Do you think she deserves to go into the Hall of Fame? I think if it was to be decided now, if her career ended tomorrow, I would say probably not. But if she continues to wrestle for another 3-4 years and maybe gets a good run with the title, like an extended run, like maybe even beat Nikki's run at some point, then I would make an argument for it. But they haven't really done a whole lot with her as of late, and she's been largely absent from this whole Divas Revolution storyline. They just recently started getting her involved. It just seems like they never know what to do with her. I mean, one minute she's teamed up with Tyson and Cesaro, and then the next minute she's off television, then she's with the Divas division, and it just seems like WWE doesn't really know what to do with her. So if she has something more significant to do and she's able to make more of an impact, which she definitely has the ability to do, then maybe at that point, if she has another 3 or 4 good years before she retires, maybe you could consider her into the Hall of Fame. Alright, this one comes from SJS. What did you think about Matt Hardy and Edge's feud in 2005? Had an incredible start. When they did that angle where Matt Hardy came out and plugged Ring of Honor on live television and there was this huge brawl and things were out of control, that was one of the most captivating moments on WWE television in years at that time. And it got everybody talking. You know, they blurred the lines between shoot and make-believe. You didn't know what was real, you didn't know what wasn't. I thought it was really well done. And then they had the match at SummerSlam, and Matt Hardy looked like a complete goof. And then they had Edge beat him and send him to SmackDown, and that was the end of it. So, really disappointing finale to that storyline. It could have been something huge for Matt Hardy that could have elevated him to a potential main eventer, and it really went nowhere. So that is just a huge bummer. A storyline that started off hot, but WWE couldn't sustain the heat with that storyline, and it just fizzled out, and that was the end of it. And Matt Hardy was just another guy on SmackDown. Alright, so that'll wrap it up for NoDQ&A video today. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for full Hell in the Cell coverage, and I will see you guys next time.